All right, folks, it's another Tesla accessories video. I understand this is the most riveting content on YouTube.com, and that's why I bring it to you, not it. It's why I bring it to you, bruv. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching CarWow. I'm going to show you a bunch of accessories today. A lot of these companies I've been working with for about 5 years now, because I bought my Model Y 5 years ago at this point, my original Model Y, which is sitting right here. It's going to be sold here soon. So I will get to this monstrosity in a second, and I have a little tweak in my neck, so if I have to turn right, I kind of go like this. So I'm a little tweaked out right now. The first accessories I'm going to show you in this video are for a company called Spigen, and then I'm going to get into the accessories that you absolutely must have. The other thing I'd like to note is you could shop around the internet and find these accessories on different websites. Maybe you find it for $1 cheaper here or whatever. A lot of these companies copy all of the stuff that I'm about to show you. The problem is they don't have any customer support if anything goes wrong. So I've vetted these companies through years and years of research and then working with different brands. And these companies care, and they have good warranties and good customer service. So let's begin. Now, surprisingly, on the center console here, it's very simplistic. You have your cup holders, and then you have this really deep hole to put things in. One accessory that I've used a ton is this right here. Is this little center console organizer here. So you can have your sunglasses, keys, whatever you want to put in here, you can have stored there, and then you just simply push it back, and then you can go deep into the abyss, into Ursula's grotto, we'll call it. And then that closes up, and it's really nice. That accessory itself, just the way it moves on here, it's well built, it's rubberized, it's very useful. It makes this space more effective. The second item is this Spigen center console storage box. So it pops right in there perfectly. You remove this for some adhesive, you set it down below, and then it perfectly adheres to the underside here. Then you have a button that you press. You can store some credit cards or a key right here, and it even has this strap so you can strap some things in. So I think this is a really well-designed piece. I just installed it right in front of your eyes, and it just gives you more storage in your Model Y. Now you might say to yourself, what are you going to put in here? Well, let's say you get pulled over and the officer goes, are there any guns in the car? And you say, no, but there is a 10 that I'd love to give you if you just let me go. This also can hold 4 credit cards or cards of your choice, so just a really nice use of space. People absolutely love to put different phone holders in their Teslas, and I'm going to show you a few different options here. One of them is my favorite, but I wanted to show you different options because everyone has different needs. So this is Spigen's Tap Lock phone holder. This is great because this is not adhesive, because I don't really like having anything sticky on the back of the screen. This actually clamps just by screwing it in. It creates a suction, and then on the inside here, it's all plastic, so it doesn't rattle or anything, and it fits perfectly on the corner of the screen. So you twist that on, it locks into place, and then this, you tap lock, and you're able to adjust that and move it to have your phone horizontally or vertically. So I generally do it on horizontal there because vertical kind of goes behind the steering wheel, but you do have the ability to adjust it, and you could put it on either side of the screen. Now this specific one can charge your phone, and it has this cable attached to it. That's the only part I don't like about it but if you're like an Uber driver or something, you're probably going to want that to have it in your line of sight, and then you don't have to move it to charge it. I'm not an Uber driver, but I might be if the channel fails. Now, because I don't need this charging cable, the one that's appealing to me doesn't have it, and that's the one is my favorite. Now, as far as the cable goes, they do give you these little cable organizers that come with the kit, so you can actually clamp it like down onto the carpet here, and you can even tuck the cable and run it under here, and then run power out of your center console in here with the USB-C 90-degree angle that they have here. So you can pretty much hide the cable and keep it out of sight. Personally, I don't need the charger, but the way that it's mounted on here, and then you can easily unscrew it and remove it if you want to and put it in a different car. I just think it's really well thought out. But there's another one I want to show you from Magback. So Magback also has a really sleek looking phone mounted charger here off the back. Now this does use adhesive, and the one question you're going to ask yourself is it going to stick? So I'm in Phoenix and I've had this on here for over a year now, and it doesn't move. Even when it's 110 or 115 degrees outside, it doesn't move. It's very solid. And then it starts charging your phone. I guess you could put your phone on the right way. That would be good. But there you go. There's how that looks. So it's slightly blocked your view, but it is very sleek. You can, again, You can run this cable along the side here and tuck it away and hide it. Then it's powered right out of the center console. So that is the one from Magback. But there's one more that's completely different than all the rest. And that's this one from Vion. So this is both for the Model 3 and the Model Y. And you just attach your phone on there, and then if you want to adjust it, you can go like that, have it sideways. You can twist your phone like that because it has a ball joint on the back here. So it has these ball joints that you can release and kind of move it any way that you need it to be. And it's out of sight. Doesn't do any charging, but it keeps it on this side of the car, so you have full access to the screen and then full access to the phone if you need to glance over at it. So I think this is a really cool option, again, for the Model 3 and Y. A lot of the accessories I'm showing you in this video you can get for the Model 3 and the Y, and that'll all be linked below. So this is Spiegen's tap lock. Again, goes side to side, and this one doesn't have any power to it, so it's just really clean on the top of your screen. You can put it on either side of the screen. This is my favorite one that would be mounted to the screen, and then the Vion one mounted to the door. I think those are two really different but good options. Now, in the previous video I did on how to set up your brand new Model Y, I got dusted in the comments because there was dust all over the screen, and honestly, sitting there in person you can't really see it. So now I'm going to put a screen protector on here, and this one's been updated, so it's 15.4 inches with anti-glare. 15.4 is the new screen. The previous screen was just 15 inches, so they've updated it specifically for the new Model Y, and there's also a screen protector for the rear of the vehicle. So I'm going to show you how this goes on. This comes with a perfect set of instructions here, so I'm not going to go in depth of how to do it, but it does say for best results to turn off your air conditioning, so we're going to turn our air conditioning off. And then from there, it gives you absolutely everything you need. So if you've never done anything to your car before, you'll have no problem putting this on, because it even comes with a plastic mount, and it lets you perfectly adhere it to your screen. So there's no way you're going to make a mistake doing this, and it's a very easy install. Now, I do recommend putting your car in screen clean mode, so go to display, then screen clean mode, and now you can see just the black screen. So we're going to take, this is also from Spigen. I love this thing. It dusts and cleans your display, and once you do that, you flip it over and it has a buffer on it, and you're able to buff out all of the fingerprints or just imperfections that the wipes didn't get from just having dust. So I really like this, and it's going to help us get this screen cleaned up. Also, all of this stuff, again, it's linked in the description. This stuff's off of Amazon, so I'll have all those links, and some of it I have discount codes for, some of it I don't, but yeah, it will all be down there, and I can email you this list of accessories. Just send an email to me and I'll send it over. Now, this final product here that I'm going to show you from Spigen, and we got a couple more we're going to show, is this center armrest console cover. So again, I think this is going to be someone who's really driving a lot. This is going to give you protection on your armrest. This is a nice durable rubber that you can easily clean, and then it just pops on to your center console. There's no adhesive or any nonsense like that. It just slides on, and it's just a more durable cover there. It slides literally right over top and seats perfectly. So again, it's a different texture here as opposed to the stock console cover here. I don't know, if you stink and you have greasy elbows often, you're going to wear this out. So this is just protection, or maybe you work on a construction site, you throw this on when you're at work, but then when you're out on the weekend taking your lady or your man, out for a date, you can have it nice and clean for them. So that is another option from Spigen. Now on to some accessories. These are like must-haves. These are like the basics of what everyone gets every time they get a Tesla. The first thing is a sunshade. The one I use is from Vion.parts. This one fits better than any one that I've ever tested. They're also constantly tweaking it to make it better, and one of the previous tweaks that they've done is they've added magnets across the center strip in the back. So it's able to adhere perfectly. It fits perfectly around the new shape in the Model Y, and it totally blocks out any light and heat coming in. Now, the roof on these are vastly improved, so the heat isn't as bad as it was before, but if you want to knock out the light and 100% of the heat, this is the way to go. Now, some people have also said, well, what about tinting it? Tinting it, you can do that too, but it's It's like $300 to $500 depending on the shop that you go to. So it's very expensive. And this, you can just pop it in and out and leave it in your car. And this is like 59 bucks, free shipping, and then code Gjeebs will save you another 10%. So I think for a sunshade, again, they make it for the Model 3, the Model Y, and they also have a black one for the Model 3, which gives it a really unique look on the interior. Now, earlier I showed you a red, got these mud flaps I'm going to show you in a little bit too. These are excellent. But I'm going to show you these red floor mats. So these are the premium perfect fit floor liners from 3D Mats. These are my favorite, but there's also the Kagoo all-weather floor mats in the Model Y. And you can see on these Kagoo floor liners, they've optimized the design even further. They reduce the rear edge height of the floor mats, so you have easier access to the OEM storage compartments, and you will notice the gaps at the seat base are filled to provide an extended protective area. So this is a new feature compared to the older floor mats. They've also extended the length underneath the rear seat, which looks incredible, especially because your feet are going to extend out this far in the rear of the Model Y, which has a ton of space. So these are some really nice upgrades that 3D Mats has done specific to the Model Y Juniper. So I'm a broken record at this point, but 3D Mats has the best fitting floor mats. On the back of them, they have their Max Spider technology. That is a patent by them. There's no one else that has this. The other companies will use like Velcro or something like that. This doesn't fray your carpet. It gives you incredible coverage, as you can see on the interior of this Model Y, and it is a bold design. So if you spill water or something inside of it, it keeps it all contained in there, or mud or snow. You can pull these out. They're waterproof, they're fireproof, and they even have a sound absorbent layer baked into the interior of them. So these are excellent. They're also, when you use my discount code, they are cheaper than the Tesla's OEM ones. And you may be asking yourself, what's wrong with Tesla's OEM ones? The main thing that I've found is over time they show wear. The rubber kind of gets cut up and grayed, whereas these, once you wash them, whether you're using interior cleaner or just soap or something like that, they wash up perfectly. I've tested mine for coming up on 5 years now, so I have long-term experience with them. And if you don't want the rubber all-season ones, that's where these premium ones come in. So the discount code for the premium ones is Gjeebs3D40, so you get $40 off. But check out how these look in the Model 3. So here's what it looks like before with the all-season rubberized mats. Here's what the stock floor mat looks like. And here is the 3D Mats premium version. It looks like I have a Civic Type R right now. And again, you can get this carpeted one in black. They make it in red and black, so you don't have to get it to pop like this. But it does add some excitement to the interior. And once you put your feet on these, you will not believe how comfortable and how more luxurious it makes the interior of your car feel. So if you're looking for the highest of high end for floor mats, this is it. Still waterproof and all that stuff, but it's a little harder to clean than just getting the rubber ones that you can scrape off. So these are excellent. These are what I recommend. You can see the fitment here in the rear of the Model Y is really good in comparison to the stock one, which doesn't really contain any of the dirt. And then when we move to the trunk, this is how it looks. Now, for the trunk of the Model Y, you're going to absolutely want a protective layer in here. The reason I say that is because you most likely have kids, you're going to sports practice, you're hauling things, you might have a dog. This carpet is nice, but I mean, look, I've had it covered, and it's just like one time of putting golf clubs in or something, and there's dirt that sticks around it. So I'm going to put the 3D Mats trunk liner in. I had it sitting out in the sun because if you do that for a few minutes, this becomes like really rubbery, and it lets you get the best fitment possible. So there you go. So now that is perfectly aligned. Now the other thing is you'll see this little cutout right here. This is optional to you if you want to cut that out. I am going to cut that out. I'll show you how easy that is. So then you can have that little cutout there. And you can even, if you want, I could probably sit it back another ½ inch to sit a little more flush up against there. That way you can easily lift under here for the under compartment. So you can see it has these creases here for the under compartment, so that works perfectly. And then I'd say the only downside to having a floor mat back here, and this is a minor downside, is if you're actually going to use this secondary storage compartment. So there's that storage compartment back there as well. So it's a little hard because you'd have to fold your floor mat up like this and then access this. I don't use this. This would be like for a long road trip I'm going to do this summer. I'll have some things stored under here. but that will be accessed when I actually get to my destination. So that's the only downside to it, but if most people aren't going to use that, it's really nice they have it stored there. It's really nice they have it. Just want you to be aware of that. The other thing 3D Mats makes is these left and right floor mats for the trunk of the Model Y. So these go down in these storage compartments all the way down there. And it's locked into place, just giving you more protection. And again, these all have their Max Spider technology on them, so they adhere really nicely and stick. The other item you're going to want for kind of all season is a good set of mud flaps. So these ones are from T-Parts. They're $49, and again, my code saves you 10% off there. These are both for the new Model Y, the new Model 3, and even the old Model Y. These will fit on all of them. And what I love about them is the bottom of them is very rubbery and textured. So that will let, when you go over speed bumps, if you're to bottom out or something like that, it just kind of flops over them. Whereas the really hard plastic ones will break off of your vehicle. So these are really nicely done. It looks like an OEM piece. It's very subtle, and it gives you the protection from mud and things splashing up on the car and keeping it a little bit cleaner. So now on to the charging section of the video. So if you just bought a new Model Y, for example, they're all coming with the mobile charger. So the mobile charger currently comes with the NEMA 1450 plug, which this is excellent. This works for most people. A lot of new homes are being built with these put in. This is what I worked with for years when I was driving 3,000 miles a month with my Tesla, and for overnight charging, this is great. It also comes with this 120, and this is great because you can pull up to any house anywhere, plug in, and be able to get about 3 miles per hour of charge. Now, the one that nobody thinks about is the 520 adapter, which is this one right here. So this can be purchased right on Tesla's website for $35, and this connects right to the top of your mobile charger. So it pops right in there, and this will give you 6 to 7 miles per hour of charging. And to show you what it plugs into, you can see right here, this says freezer. So if I unplug that, that is what it looks like. So it just has the sideways slit. And again, this will double your charging speed in comparison to the 120 adapter that you can find in most areas. So I highly recommend. There's a lot of garages. You can't believe how many garages have outlets like this. And a lot of people can get away with only doing that as opposed to installing a NEMA 1450 like this. Also some remnants here of the pink pig. But this is an excellent solution. The other thing that's great that I just got here is from EV Dance. So I currently have their NEMA 1450 set up plugged in here. This is a very long cable, but sometimes you need it to be extra long. And that's why you have this massive extension cable. So with both of these stacked together, the extension cable is 21 feet, and then the NEMA 1450 mobile charger is 25 feet. That's 46 feet you can charge a car. Let me illustrate for you exactly how far that is. And also, this cable is like a really high quality. It's not very thick, which is nice. They're a leader in this space. It's a very quality piece. It seems like something that would come from Tesla. So I'm really pumped about this because I know a lot of people don't have convenient charging setups, and getting access to this high power through a long cable is a problem. So this solves that. So that is exactly how long the cable is. It's also IP65 rated. It's weatherproof, so if it rains, if it snows, if it's really hot, you can make that work for you. It's an excellent solution. The most popular accessory I've ever promoted for the Model 3 is the rear carbon spoiler. T-Parts just came out with a replica spoiler. So this is the OEM carbon spoiler that comes on the Model 3 Performance. But if you don't have a Model 3 Performance, but you want to replicate this look at a fraction of the cost, this is the one from T-Parts. You can see the carbon weave pattern is excellent. It even comes down with this little design that Tesla has designed into it for more aerodynamics and flow over the rear of the vehicle. So it's an incredible design, really well crafted, and I think after my discount code it's like $260 plus free shipping. It comes with a warranty if the carbon fiber fails. They all have a serial number on them right here, and again, the company's T-Parts. Code Gjeebs saves you 15%. And T-Parts has a ton on their website, and I'm very close with them, so I have a good relationship with them. If anything were ever to go wrong, I can help handle it for you, but it won't because they're a solid company. And this spoiler is excellent. It really enhances the look of the rear of your Model 3. Now, it wouldn't be an accessories video if I didn't talk to you about some air compressors to keep in your car. So I need to be transparent with everything here. Fantic sponsors the channel, right? Avid Power has never sponsored the channel. I spent my own money and purchased this 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm going to show you the benefits of this, the benefits of this, and then this little small one over here. These seem to be my favorite. So this is the X9 Ultra from Fantic. This is the fastest air compressor I have ever tested. I've tested about 12 at this point. Nothing comes even remotely close to this. I added 20 PSI of air to my Rivian tire in, I think it was a little over 2 minutes. This is not the fastest. This took about 9 minutes. I'll pop it up on the screen what it actually took. What I love about it though is this clamp right here. You go ahead and you clamp this directly on and it's very simple. Whereas the Fantic one, you have to screw on. Now it is really nicely designed, and this is also about double the cost of this. And the only reason I'm not saying the price is because they always change on Amazon. It's always like something has a sale. So this, you have to screw it on to the valve stem. So it's easier to use this as opposed to this. However, this is significantly faster, but it's also larger. It comes with these lights on it here. You can adjust the PSI, so when you turn it on, you can adjust the PSI just as you can in this one here. So you can go PSI 48 is where I have it set. If it needs to be 47, then you turn it on and it stops when the tire hits that PSI. The other nice thing about this is there is a battery that detaches here. Now it works better when you're using the battery because it's a 20 volt as compared to the 12 volt here. So there's nice options. You can charge this battery on this charger, okay? Or let's say the battery is out, you can plug this 12 volt into the back of the Model Y and have power to pump your tires up. So I think that that is excellent and very useful. These also come with all of the different connections that you could possibly need. So things like blowing up sports balls, a French valve for some bike tires, and then just blowing up floats and things like that. And then it's nice that the cable tucks away nicely. The final one I will show you here is the X9 Pro, and it's just ultra portable. And another cool thing that this does is when you pull this out, it powers on automatically. So this is really small. This isn't going to be high performance like the X9 Ultra, but it's really small. It's nice to have something on there. So this is like a blend between the two of these in terms of performance, this being the fastest, this being the easiest to use with alternate sources of energy, and this just being the most compact. So I think any one you choose here is going to be great. If you're using an air compressor a lot, like if you're blowing up sports balls all the time, if you're constantly airing down tires for off-roading and needing to air them back up, this is probably the best option for you if you're going to be using it a lot because it is faster. So I'll have all three of these linked below. These are all excellent. I've been using them for a while. I've been using this one for 5 years now, and I've had no issues with it. So all good options here. Another accessory I have installed on my Tesla are the illuminated door sills. They're $250 from Tesla, and that's for 2 of them. What I like about them is they are very high quality, they're easy to install, and there's no wiring that goes with them. There's a little battery in it, and they apparently last about 3 years. That's like a safe estimate. I've heard people say they've had them 5 years and they still work great. So I've really liked that accessory. It is expensive. You can get cheaper ones. I thought that was a nice OEM edition that you can get directly from Tesla. On to the next thing. Another item from T Parts is their center console USB hub. So this will be a quick little install here, but it fits beautifully right here. So there's how it fits, perfectly flush. Matches the OEM color, and then your 12 volt is right down here in the center display, so you plug that in. So this thing's just really well thought out. So check out, so you have this port right here. It's not actually a port, it's a hidden adapter. So when you pull this out, it turns it into a lightning cable, which plugs into here and lets you charge via lightning. So if you have a lightning cable to USB-C, you can actually put it in here for reverse compatibility. So that's cool. And then you just have your normal USB-C charging here. Then you have this, that pops out. You pull it like this and it's a retractable cable, USB-C charging again. And then look, pull it all the way up. Nice satisfying clicking sound. Snaps into place. So yeah, and then it's all powered right there. This thing is very well thought out, and then it just looks, I mean, if T Parts wasn't written here, you wouldn't know this didn't come with the car. This is extremely well done. It's probably my favorite new I've never shown this on the channel before. This is my favorite new accessory. So this fits on both the new Model 3 and the Model Y Juniper. So between this and the spoiler, again, my code saves you 10% off and free shipping. Those are two excellent accessories, and this is just really cool. And to wrap things up, finally, this vacuum from Fantic. This thing sucks. I mean, it just gets the job done. Turn it off here, turn it on here, and then it goes into high power mode, and you can see all of the stuff that I've sucked up into it. So when you turn it off, you pop this open and dump all the stuff out, and then anything that doesn't come out, that pops off, this pops off. And the reason I'm showing this is because this was something I didn't think I would use a lot at first, and then I actually find myself, I use it around the house in tight corners or spaces, and it's actually been useful outside of the vehicle. So this thing has been another great accessory to carry in your Tesla. And now that we've covered all of these great accessories, you're gonna wanna know how to perfectly wash your Tesla Model Y. You can click this video right here where I go in depth onto everything. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. And I'm also gonna do a giveaway on Twitter, so go over there and follow me so you can get entered.